All right, for today's video review, we're going to be taking a look at another Hexbug JunkBot. And this time around, we're going to be taking a look at Aeryon. Aeryon? Aeryon. Aeryon? That's how I would think that would be pronounced, but I'm not totally sure about that. But yeah, this is another one from the Factory Collection, which is basically the Series 2 of JunkBots. I found out that the Series 1 is actually called the Alley Collection, and then Series 2 is the Factory Collection. I never saw Alley Collection written on the boxes, but there you go. Series 1 is Alley Collection, Series 2 is Factory Collection. But yeah, Aeryon is basically a little bug here. The main body, I think it's supposed to be some kind of cement mixer or something like that. It's kind of hard to tell. Really, it would be, oriented like this if if it were that. But it's here used as kind of like a little body type for this little bug dude. Again, it's doing the same thing that Pompier did, the little elephant, where its wings are they're pieces of cardboard, not plastic, that just are decorated to look like metal, and I really don't like that I don't like the use of cardboard with the actual JunkBots themselves, like especially when it's meant to look like metal. Like if it was metal, it would be thicker, so it doesn't really look particularly good, I don't think. I mean, it looks fine as wings, but as like big pieces of, riveted together scrap metal, I don't think it looks particularly good. So not overly fond of that, but whatever. In terms of articulation, obviously the head can move around here a little bit. It's got some nice little patterning there of on the little eyes to make it look like it's kind of compound eye like. It's got 4 little legs here, which are obviously all on a series of 1 to 2 ball joints that are, he's got a little brick here on one of his feet, and then this one is a little wrench, a little clamp there. That's pretty cool. Not sure what that is, but another little tool of some sort. And then for the little stinger, he's got a little hook back here, which I think is pretty cool. So, I like this one because, like, again, I like the ones better that are made up of a lot more like identifiable parts, rather than the ones that are mostly made up of just like generic scrap metal, like pieces like that. Not that pieces like that are bad or anything. I like those, but when it doesn't have as many identifiable pieces, it's not as interesting to me. But this one does, so I like it. I kind of wish it had like I'm not sure if this is supposed to be like a centralized eye, or if these pieces are supposed to be the eyes, because there's a big hole right there. It kind of reads as an eye, but then there's not actually a piece there. So, I don't know. I just like always think that hole is the eye, but then I wish it was an actual eye rather than just a hole. So I don't know, weird complaint, but yeah, either way, there's the little the parts layout for what pieces this one is made out of. In terms of its use with the little modules here, real quick, I had someone request that I show off. I didn't show off this little hole on the top here that you can also put the LED piece in, so it can actually light up the upper screen here on the little CCTV surveillance body here. So someone just wanted to see what that looked like, so figured I'd do that first. And yeah, you can see a little scene in there. I still can't totally tell what's happening, but oh, it looks like a little that's actually one of the JunkBots. That's a Scorpio, something scorpion related. But that's kind of cool. There's still no real good way to light up this top right screen, I don't think, because you can't really like get it in here. I mean, you can kind of like put it in there just to see what it looks like, but you can't actually like stick the LED piece in there. There's no hole or anything like that. So, still not super great. But anyway, that's what that looks like. In terms of Aeryon itself, let's see, where do we want to plug in all the pieces here? Well, obviously the piece itself just plugs onto the back here. That's nice and accessible. Then you can, it's kind of awkward because like the little connections for the head here are underneath, so you sort of have to like loop it underneath the head, which bends the LED pieces and sometimes just pulls the head straight off. So I usually find it's easier to just connect them first and then connect the head back on there. But that obviously lights up the little compound eye type things there. So let's get that plugged in. There we go. And then you can also, there's several spots on the body itself that plug in. They really only, when this thing is open, you can kind of see there's sort of like a, I don't know, liquidy type sculpt, like it's mixing something up in there. It doesn't work particularly well on this version, like on this use of this body, because it's all underneath. So it's like you don't really see it, so it's not totally worth it. But that's basically what that does with the LED piece. So, works well enough. I just think it's a little awkward. Like, and it kind of looks like rains, which I guess is kind of cool, but it is a little awkward to get these pieces connected under the head, but still works pretty well. In terms of the motor piece, let me just put put his limb back on here. Well, here, let's do the vibrating one first because that one's less exciting. You can just plug it in back there, and then works fine. Again, it works better on the ones that have a lot of like little pointy legs like this one does. So it's able to kind of jitter around in a cute way, very loud, but it works pretty well. And with the motor piece, what this one does is it makes this piece kind of flap up and down, which again, I think with other uses of this guy, like that body type oriented differently would be a little bit better, but it's still kind of cool to have, I don't know, like some bug juice pumping or something under there. I don't know like what it does for this one really, but it's kind of a neat motorized function nonetheless. In terms of comparisons, here it is with a pop vinyl, with a bot. Let's do a G1 and core class transformer. And then last but not least, with Jack Static. So that's what it looks like with all of them. So yeah, this one I think is going to be I've been doing these. Okay, so either keep, edit, or scrap, and this one for me is an edit. Mostly just because like I wanted to do something different with the wings to not be using the cardboard pieces, and then also like these little pieces on the legs here. I kind of wanted to use them for different builds, so I ended up doing different stuff with the legs, and I wanted to have an eye. So it's a pretty heavy edit, but the things I mostly kept the same are like the body going, or the head and the body and the little stinger there, and it's still kind of bug-like, but mostly I just like took all the limbs off and did different things with it, and here's what I came up with. And it kind of works. It's mostly like a lot of new parts here, but it's generally keeping the same sort of idea, same sort of body style. It's still this little insect guy. I've instead of the cardboard pieces, for unfortunately slightly smaller wings, I've used the little flipper parts from Pierre here, the broom and dustpan. And I think that works relatively well. Again, from Pierre, I've decided to use this little eye on the front here, just to give it a bit more of like I know that I think it's probably meant to be these pieces as the eyes, not that little hole there, but I just think it looks better with a singular eye. And then I've kind of, used various parts here to give it slightly more crickety legs with the, kind of bent back nature. And I like that. It frees up some of those other parts, like the little clamp that I can use on different builds that I don't think like really served this one particularly well. But kind of kept the whole little buggy aesthetic. So I don't know. I'm pretty pleased with that little that edit myself. It is like halfway between an edit and a scrap because it's a lot of new stuff, but it's still the same general vibe. It's still a little bug with wings. It still has the same head, body, and little stinger piece. It's just some different stuff for the legs. One of the legs is the same. It's just on the other side and using a different connection piece there. But either way, that's pretty much all there is to this one. If you enjoy my videos, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing. I do reviews every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And without further ado, here we have Hexbug JunkBots Aeryon.